All right, folks, we are back with another episode of Storyalysis. I am Pierre.
And I'm Chris.
That was a very long pause. Anyway, let's omit that. And today,
What?
what
What do you mean? That
do
was a
I mean?
perfectly fine pause.
We're going to try. It was perfectly fine. That is correct. We will try our hardest to break down episode 4 of The Last of Us.
Correct.
Mm. So we ended off right, episode 3. Um, well, yeah, my girl died in episode 2. Episode 3, we got to meet Bill and Frank, and you got to tell me
Mhm.
how it's different in the game. And from what we talked about off, always like it's always like I'm about to say camera off air, I guess. Episode 4, episode 3 was like your favorite. Episode 2 is my favorite. I think that's what you said, right? Episode 3 was your favorite. I don't remember.
So episode 3 it's one of my favorites, yeah.
Mm, that's true because we do have freaking 5 more after this.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Well, episode 4 starts. Ellie is practicing her shooting.
hmm
uh, dude, she
In the
looks
bathroom
so
mirror.
yeah in the bathroom mirror. It's like bam, like this girl's like just like ready to have her first kill, man. Like,
I know,
whoa,
right?
take that second kill because she killed infected. She killed the infected in the basement of that place where Joe went.
Well, actually, her third kill. I mean, we're gonna talk about it later, but yeah,
Mm,
this is her third kill. She tells Joel that at the end of the episode.
yeah, that is true. Yeah. So, of course, she practiced shooting. She walked outside.
And you see how she was, because she was playing with the gun, she was staring at it, she was sniffing it. She got a good whiff at the end, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like when it's like a kid gets their hands on something that's forbidden, that they've been denied for a long time, and they're just trying
Yeah.
to appreciate and soak in everything about it.
Yeah, savor every moment, which is borderline scary, man. Like
Yeah,
like I know unfortunately, right, this all the stigmas in the society that we live in. Like you see like girls that get dolls for gifts and like the boys get like, guns or cars or whatnot. Just masculine and feminine things, which are not even the case. That's a whole different conversation. Not what I'm trying to say, but just the way this girl just bond with this weapon. It's like
that's interesting. I Wait, do 13-year-olds play with toys? I don't Is that a thing? Like what
honestly,
age does that cut
in
off?
today's day and age, yeah, with the introduction of gadgets and whatnot, I think the playing with toy age is continuously decreased over the years. I think in our generation, when I was a kid, probably was like 2 year like I think I was playing with cars with shoot, I don't know why I can't find the words for this. The ones you have the controller in your hand and the car's running. What's the word for that? I don't
I think that's remote controlled cars.
remote control cars. Sure, that sounds so basic, but yeah, I couldn't find that.
Ah.
Yeah, I was playing with that until I was probably like 10, and then it was like consoles, of course, PS2.
Alright.
Yeah, it was a GameCube for start. But yeah, I don't think that's even a thing, man. This is why I see a bunch of toys at Toys R Us's. I think Toys R Us went out of business. Actually.
Yeah, they did go out of business,
Oh
unfortunately.
man,
That was
dude,
my
we have
childhood store.
digitized, if that's the right way to use this in a verb.
Uh,
Just childhood toys. Just now it's just iPhones and tablets and iPads.
yeah, that's true. That is
Hmm.
true. I was just thinking that it's crazy that a gun in the world of The Last of Us could pass as a toy for kids. So when you said it was scary that she was handling it with like the same fascination that a kid would handle a remote controlled car or an action figure in our
Yeah.
world. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing when I was 13. I was probably a dumbass, but I
Listen,
don't remember
man,
what I was
I
doing.
too. We all were. We all were Christian. I completely understand. So yeah.
Wait,
Mm.
but Ellie is, I think she's 14, not 13,
Yes, they
right?
didn't mention that in episode 2. I think Tess asked her for her age, and she said I'm 14.
Right. Yeah.
Damn. Rest in peace, Tess.
Rest in peace.
I think I might finally get over her probably in like season 2. But I don't know, man. This death still keep me up at night. But so, Tess, great. Ellie walk out, and Joel, mentioned about yeah, the gasoline. How back in his days you could drive like further, but now it's more watered down. He tried
12 hours.
explaining, yeah, try explaining the concept, and then she caught him on it. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about, and he's like, I know what I'm talking about. um, little thing. Again, it might be just me reading a lot into this, of course. When she pull out the book and start saying the jokes, the envelope joke and the mermaid joke, it looks like Joel is trying to like suppress the idea of like having a fun time. Not even a fun time. It's not a fun time. They're
Mm.
on the run, but just that little scene when he's like, no, no, and as she's saying, I can see another joke, and then he stand up and cross his arm, and I don't know. It's almost like I don't want to go there. It's like I don't know if it's like reminiscent of his daughter. I don't know, but just that little scene. He was like, no, no, which was harmless. It was we're passing time. Of course, we can crack a few jokes. Just like not allowing himself to go there. Like I thought, is that what this is? But then again, I don't know.
So, so the way I saw that scene is like he genuinely thought that it was just a really
Stupid.
corny thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so in his mind, he was just thinking like, "You corny ass little." But you know, it was, but it was, it's like the joke was so corny that he ended up smiling anyway. Because I think
Or
that's the second
algebra.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Pierre,
told you. What's up?
Pierre, what did the mermaid wear to her math class? Go ahead. Go ahead and tell us.
Algebra.
Yes. Yes, dude.
That's hilarious.
Fucking
Imagine
classic.
if you quizzed me and I got this wrong. We would have shut down this whole podcast. They would have caught me on the lie. Yeah, this dude has been reading off. This dude's been reading off notes. Like he's not watching the show.
I would have caught him slipping.
They would have caught me slipping. Oh, yeah. And they get in the car, man, and the freaking dude, the set, like the imagery, like the
Mm,
landscape, this post-apocalyptic just set, because that's what this is. It's a movie set, but the way it just looks so deserted, like
mm.
cars have like freaking like they're like rotten basically, and you can see the green over the car, which would just emphasize on like how long it's been stationary and just abandoned. Just everything just looked dead. You see tanks, old tanks. The roads are just like it just looks like no one's been there. This is a perfect setting like, that shows that this is deserted. But as they're driving, I mentioned in episode 1 when they talk about the shortage of chicken, there was a ton of cows, dude. There was a ton of cows
Yeah.
just eating grass. So this
Grazing.
yeah. So those cordyceps are very like animal bias. Just they're just I guess they're like we'll fuck with all the humans, but we won't touch any animals.
It makes you wonder, right? But also, Joel did say that I don't remember if it was while they were driving or if it was when they were if they like when they had that rest stop in the forest. But he was like, this kind of area doesn't attract infected; it attracts
Dude,
people.
I was gonna get
So
there, bro. Oh, I know.
yeah,
Yes,
but it does
I
make you
thought of
wonder.
no, I so yeah, that's true. So it's very close actually. So yeah, they're driving. There's a bunch of little things that happen to get to the scene that you just mentioned. She pull out the magazine. It's like I'm just like, why this sticky, y'all? This girl is so sharp. She
That
keep baiting
is
him, bro, and he keeps falling for these things. And he's like, I'm just fucking with you. But oh my goodness.
that
Yeah.
was that's a very iconic scene,
Uh,
both in the video game and now in the show.
really.
Um, like in the video game, I think word for word, pretty much, it played out how they did in the show. The only thing that was different was like the intonation, if that's the right word. Like
Okay.
the way that they said it and the way that it flows. It was a little bit different in the TV show and the games, but it's a very small nitpick.
Mm,
Not even a nitpick. It's just a small difference. Um,
okay. Yeah, but I thought
but
that was
yeah,
hilarious.
it's it's. I
He's
love
like,
that scene.
I can't. It's like, I'm just fucking with you. I was like, yo, this girl's ahead of her time, man. How does she even know about these weird things? Because we're all aware of what she's insinuating and what she already by telling Joe, I'm just fucking with you. Like, you don't have to explain it to me because I know the joke of what I just said. But it's like,
She's had the birds and the bees talk.
yeah,
She's well knowledged.
yeah. So
Hold
yeah,
your
after
horses. I want to
hold
know
your
what all the
horses.
fuss is about.
Oh man, no, it's been a trip watching these two. Well, this is the
Mm,
first full episode of them two. Like, no, this is the second because episode three. Yes, episode three was no, dude. Bill and Frank captured most of episode three. So yeah, this is their first solo, just them two for quite some time.
yep.
Yeah, and then they camp out because my boy's been driving for a long time, and this is where, of course, she asked for the fire, which is the scene that you mentioned. Yeah, and he's like, "No, dude, why do you think I wouldn't do the fire?" And he's like, "Oh, because of the infected fungus." And Joel said, "Fungus is too stupid to pick up on smoke. This place is too remote for infected, anyways." Dude, when I heard that, do you remember episode one, the first scene with this talk show host that he said, if imagine a world where it got warmer, they're able to adapt, and they would all have one goal. Do you remember what that one goal he said was? Like,
To infect every human?
sure,
I
that's some
forget.
no, literally synonym, parallel. Yeah, to basically annihilation or to spread as much as they can,
Spread. Right.
which makes perfect sense. They would not be in a place that's remote. What is remote? There's like a lack of people. It's what is it? It's outside the skirts of the population. You know, it's not in the city area, which makes perfect sense because
Mm,
they won't be able to fulfill the purpose, which is to spread, because there's nothing to spread. Like if you're remote, there's probably like 2 to 3 people. We don't want to be there. Like we want to be by the QZs. We want to be like in the towns on an infected point of view, even though they can't really think because they're but it's like I don't know. I stretched it that far. I was like, wow, it's too remote, which makes perfect sense. You can't spread, tying into what the guy was saying, because if their main goal is to reach out to as many humans as possible and get them all infected, you wouldn't be in a remote area.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that that makes sense because especially since in order for um like an infected needs people in order to spread. So where there's
Yeah,
a large dense uh of a human
that's where they'll be.
population, that's where they'll be. But I
Yeah,
mean, there's also if you think back to the episode 3 with Frank, there was that one moment where he was eating dinner, and then there was an infected that he captured it on the his monitor system
yeah.
monitor.
He was wandering around. Yeah, and he shot him in the head. Well, to the trap, the booby trap. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I would imagine that there might be some stragglers here and
Mm-hmm.
there of infected.
That
Just
makes sense. Yeah, because there's so many of them. Of course, there's some that are just walking around that lost track of the pack.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. And then of course he said, it's not been infected, blah blah blah. It's too remote. It's people they got to worry about. And she's like, they'll rob us, and he's like, they'll do worse. I'm like, damn.
They'll do worse.
I've
Ooh.
my disclaimer of episode two, right? It was like I've never seen Walking Dead. Apologies if I rub anyone the wrong way. My friends who fell off Walking Dead, they've all told me, and this is literally like a verbatim, like a word for word. They're like, yeah, the reason I stopped, it got to a point where there's people fighting people instead of people even worried about zombies. Like zombies became secondary. Like your threat became like humans. So when Joel told Ellie, those are the ones we got to worry about, just as people, and they won't come here to rob you. Now, if you think about it, right, when you're infected, you're not really dead. You're just infected until the fungus is I don't know, squeeze the life out of you and bend you to walk to whatever direction it wills for you to walk. But people will actually like end your life. Like that's another
Mm,
threat that's even deeper than being infected, which you're ending up dead both ways. But one will prolong your life that's not really yours, that you're not even watching. You're totally a puppet, and the other one will just kill you instantly. But it's just,
mm,
it took me to that place, even though I've never seen the show. I was like, damn, that's crazy that it's still, because we're just so messed up as like a species that even facing its extinction or a bigger threat, there will still be commotion within us. And it's just like, which is
mm,
perfect. That's how humans have always been anyway. But I really like that in just a few words and just like, yeah, they will do more. They won't just rob us. And that she understood and there's just silence, didn't speak after that. I was like, wow, that's, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I read too much into that too. But yeah.
no, that's this is a good time to mention this. Um, but what you just said about how humans can often be scarier than the zombies that are like the monsters of the world or whatever. In this world, the infected, not zombies. Um, the Last of Us is primarily a story about human relationships. So the infected, while they play a very important role overall in the narrative and how it unfolds, they set the stage for a story that, again, it's focused on human relationships.
Okay.
So um, if you're thinking about this now in episode 4, then that's good because that's the theme that this the story is trying to latch onto and explore and evoke discussion about. So
Rich Gang. All
yeah,
right. Spot on.
yeah.
Great. I'm thrilled. All right. If it has Christian's validation, then it must be I'm on the right track.
No, 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 no.
No, but yeah, I hear you, and it wouldn't be there for no reason, and it's yeah, it's sure I can see that, and the relationship growing between yeah a guy who's just strictly just looking for his brother to slowly becoming the guardian of this girl, but yeah, but we will see. Um, damn, and then it's morning, but dude, before it's morning, that shot, she's sleeping and the
Mhm.
camera tilts to someone standing behind her. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then just to
Oh.
clear it, and it's Joel just on
Yeah.
night watch duty. And I'm like, yo.
Yeah, for that scene, because right before they cut to that moment,
Mhm.
um, I think Ellie, she asks Joel,
If someone's gonna
uh,
find them. Yeah.
yeah, she was like, "So no one's gonna find us, right?" And then he was like, "No, no one's gonna find us." And then there's a pause where you can see that right after Joel said that, he doubts the authority with which he said that, and then
Yeah.
he starts to scan the dark forest, and then you can
Mhm.
see there's a hint of worry in his eyes.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they show you, as he said, he's on watch duty.
Mhm.
um, and I took that as Joel's parental instincts subconsciously were starting to resurface,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
he's slowly starting to care more and more about Ellie's well-being.
Yes.
And it's great
Yes.
because at this point, um, yeah, it's still a very natural progression, the way that their relationship is
Correct.
unfolding. Like we're
Mhm.
steadily being fed evidence, um, that he's building a bond with this girl, and
Yep.
she's slowly chipping away at that shell that's been hardened and reinforced over the last 20 years.
Yes.
And
Christian, you're a freaking
it's
poet,
cool.
bro. Yes. Yes, that shell that's
Very
been
cool.
hardened. Bro,
Yeah.
I
Very,
love
very
it.
cool. Very
It is it
subtle.
is it is right. It's not rushed at all. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not in your
and
face. Very well
mm,
done.
No, this is a fact. This is very true. Um, and then they
And
get up, of course.
before we move on though, Peter, before we move
Yeah.
on,
Okay.
why did the Scarecrow get an award, dude? Tell us.
Because it
Come
was
on, man.
outstanding in his field.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. You're killing it. You're killing it,
Okay,
man.
to our two listeners, like I really am not reading this off of anything. Like I thoroughly watched this.
Just gotta make sure you're on your toes, dude.
Yo, and she was like, "You dick, you read it, you freaking read it." Yo,
And that was
the
the third time
language,
he smiled. Third
yeah,
time he smiled.
yeah, dude, the language that this chick has, man, this little girl, like, bro, they give my girl a rated R script. It's like,
Got a potty
mm,
mouth.
yeah, yeah. So then they get up, next morning. Great. Ill. She doesn't like coffee. And then yes, he mentioned, that right, they're driving to Wyoming. He tells her that the signal that his brother Tommy sent was from Cody, somewhere named Cody, yeah, in Wyoming. So she's trying to locate it in the map. Um, and then of course he gives her and us the viewers a backstory of Tommy. Younger
Mm.
brother, enlisted in the army, always wanted to be a hero. I don't remember the word he used. I don't remember.
Joiner.
He a joiner. Yeah, he's what people like us used to call a joiner. Right? Enlisted to be a hero, came back from the army because he didn't really feel like a hero. And then he's always been trying to save the world. This is where he was the one at the beginning of the outbreak that he went after him in Boston just to look after him. Then from there, Tommy met Marlene, and then Tommy became a Firefly. Then he heard Tommy quit. So this was like the whole backstory on Tommy, pretty much, since we saw him in episode 1, but just further back, a deeper background, I guess. And of course, he confirmed that Tommy was in the army, which you didn't confirm or deny, which was a very good job on your part again when I saw the bumper sticker on the first episode. So that too, that's great. And then, dude, the conversation that
Mm.
unfolds from there. Just when we think my boy's getting sentimental, like you just said, the parental like vibes are coming in, like she's piercing through that shell, and he just rips her a new one. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Um, yeah, she's like, yeah, then what is all this worth it if you think there's like no hope? And he told her, you haven't seen the world, so you don't know. But all that matters is family. And of course, a little girl asks you, am I family? Like, damn. And
Mm.
he's like, no, you're just cargo, bro.
Your
Come
cargo
on, man.
and your
Come
promise
on.
to Tess, who
Tess,
was
who
like
was
family.
like family.
Just like
Not even
digging the
family,
knife
was
even further.
like, bro. As
Yeah.
in, this girl that you, from the person that you can see that I was for the 2-3 days we've been hanging together, like you see I'm just very like aloof, I'm closed off. And you saw the dynamic between me and this girl. You saw how it affected me when she died. I even took a moment of silence to freaking put some rocks together. And I still tell you, she was like family. If she was like family, where do you think you stand? Like, oh my goodness, bro. I was like, damn. And of course, one thing we've noticed from Ellie's been able to put two and two together like every episode. It was like, oh wait, she's infected. Oh wait, are you my mom? Oh wait. It's like it's just so of course a girl with like the way she thinks is able to just put that together and be like, oh wow, I'm real nothing to this guy. We're really not making any progress at all. There's no way to bridge that gap. I was like, damn
Mm.
man, that sucked. I felt for her.
At this point, do you know how many days or weeks they've been together, roughly?
Honestly, I don't. But if you do tell.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it can't be. Um, if I were to take a rough guess, maybe 2 weeks, if even that.
Okay.
I don't know. Um,
Hmm.
but the reason I bring up like how long they've known each other, because
Right.
say hypothetically they've been on this journey for 2 weeks. Maybe it's
Yeah.
been more, maybe it's been less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could build a bond that quickly to a point where you're like, yeah, you're family. You
No,
know?
of course not, dude. But two adults, I understand. But this is a kid. Like, of course, like all, even though
Oh
she's,
yeah, yeah. He was pretty a good
yeah,
one.
this is like, come on, man. Like, yeah, if it's two grown men or two grown women, it's like I understand. It's like, what the fuck you talking about? I just met you a few weeks ago, but dude, this is a kid, and we've been seeing how this kid has been trying to pierce through that shell for quite some time now. You know, like in her own way, which sometimes she curses or is just, but still, like trying to crack jokes. Like that's any attempt to bond with someone from a kid's perspective to show you that they really want to be your friend.
Hmm.
Because kids are like, yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with you if you don't like me. If I don't like you, kids are very picky. Although she's very developed, she's like 14 years old. No kid is trying to bond with someone they don't want to be friends with. But then again, this is I'm reading way too much into this. This is a show and this is scripted. But still, she's mimicking the behavior of a kid perfectly.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't think he did that fair at all, man. But then again, that's typical Joel. Like it's just I didn't expect any less. I'm just it's like it is. Uh, but at the same time, just to break the freaking because it got really dry and intense, just to freaking give us some humor. My boy's like, you know what, get some sleep, and she's like, I'm not even tired. And then they break to the next scene. It's like
She's
and her
knocked
mouth
out.
is like wide open. She's knocked out. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
Classic kid move.
Right. Uh right. We mentioned this off air. Again, for the two listeners. Christian, I've mentioned this already, right? Because Christian have seen the show already, which he's mentioned. So this is not me talking like oh, is Pierre the only one who watched the show? It's just I'm experiencing these things first. They're fresher, and Christian don't want to leak any detail that's might lead to something else
Yeah.
because yeah, so this is why he's like letting me run a bit with just the plot as he's nitpicking and throwing in details that he's mentioned. Because, and dude, you're doing this very nicely actually, because you're not revealing anything. Like I'm telling you, if this was the other way around, bro, when we get the Vinland Saga, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the same thing. Just because that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing. I've seen season two. You have not seen season two, but anyway,
Yeah,
it's just
it's also you got kind of you got a little bit of a vibe on these episodes where you summarize what's happening moment by moment, and
yeah,
it could be it makes it easier for me to just jump in if there's a moment that I have a particular insight on or a thought on that
bro.
I
And
could
you've been
just
doing
give to you.
great. This is true. This is true. And you've been doing it, dude. Freaking, you took us back last episode when you dissecting the whole way how my boy and his freaking daughter and his brother got to miss out on this freaking pandemic. Well, it's not a pandemic. This disease by not having cake, by not having cookies. But bro, I can't just know you've been. This was dope. This was dope. And this is just one of the many things. Anyway, all right. Enough of kissing Christian's ass. Let's move forward.
Yes,
So,
yes. Let's move forward. Kansas City,
Kansas
Kansas City.
City. Uh, he gets there. The road is blocked.
Uh,
My boy's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna take a little shortcut, as in I'm not going all the way back. Is this what he said? Just so I get this correct.
um, yeah, because there was a roadblock, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess on his feet, Joel was like, "Okay, we could run around this place and go here and go there and quickly circumvent this." So yeah.
Yeah. Great. As we're driving through, like, where should I go? I don't know. Homegirl's like, this is my home. This is only my freaking second day in a car. I don't fucking know what to do.
Also,
And yeah,
while they're driving through the city, I think before Ellie said that they drive by a pile of burned bodies.
that's literally what I was getting. Yeah, I was gonna get to
Yeah,
that too. But
I want to make sure you caught
dude,
that.
what is why burnt? Like well, you can't leak anything, but also at the same time, were there any clues in the prior episodes that like foreshadowed to people dying by fire? And you know, I don't, I don't, I don't know why burnt.
Um, well, there have been burnt bodies. Like in episode 3, there was the that black woman with her baby. Well, no, that wasn't a burnt body,
That
right?
wasn't a burnt body.
That wasn't a
Yeah,
burnt body.
that was just a decomposed, freaking down to the skull because they've been dead for so long, where they were lined up and hypothetically lined up and shot, right? Because it looked like they were all in a row, but that wasn't a burnt body. Yeah, I was just, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, burnt. That's weird. But hey, if they elaborate more on that, that's great. If not, it was yeah, it was an odd thing to see.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? You fucking know, but that's what it is. uh, but yeah, it's and then bam, they get ambushed. Now, of
Right.
course, Joel sees a guy saying, "Wait, wait!" He's like, "Buckle up, Ellie. We're just gonna drive through." And as they're driving, someone throws a freaking brick at the windshield. Like,
Mm.
there's some booby traps on the floor to pop the tires, and my boy ended up freaking.
They were ready. Like how?
Yeah.
Think about it, right? Like how often would some
Cars be driving by.
for them to have like a spike trap just ready and
Yeah.
someone standing
And
on
someone
a
already
high building.
auditioning, pretending to be hurt.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I'm sure
yeah.
that they could do that pretty quickly if they wanted to.
Right. Yo, this is your cue. Go. Go, get the fuck go. Oh, okay, all right. Am I limping? Okay, yes, you are. Go.
This is your moment.
This is your
It's your
moment.
time to shine.
We rehearsed this. We freaking rehearsed this. Don't make me cut you out of that scene. Oh my goodness. And stellar performance, of course. My boy is holding on to his rib cage and he's
Right?
on this freaking weird
I felt bad for him.
yes. And he's just like is bent over. Literally looked like someone was just damaged. Which even that is scary, right? It's like traps for other humans. But regardless, we're gonna get to the episode why that is the way it is. I understand. So yes, they get ambushed, crash into what? A little store. I don't know what they sold there. Forgot to look at the sign of whatever they ran into. It was abandoned anyway, but still.
I want to say it was a laundromat, but I'm not
Nah, the
completely sure.
laundromat is the other scene. Yeah,
Mm.
there's another scene after that. Yeah, when they were literally was in front of a laundromat when she got the Kathleen got the call from one of her top guy. It might have been
Mm.
that. No, it wasn't the laundromat. Laundromat was later. That was something else. But there is laundromat. That is correct.
Mm.
Okay, but yeah, dude, it's a store. So yeah, it's freaking and Joe tells Ellie, just go crawl in that little hole in there and just wait for me. And of course, shooting, Joe kills a guy, and then he doesn't hear that there was someone coming. Someone caught him by surprise. And of
Yeah.
course, like we saw in the first scene, Ellie's moment, and my girl did not, she did not leave this like this was not a mediocre performance. She was like, I'm not about to regret this. I'm gonna fully take this opportunity. And I've never seen this done. Dude, this is borderline scary. I've mentioned this again, her playing with a gun. Like this girl killed. Notice I didn't see her hand shake. Like there's a bunch of movies where someone who haven't killed before gets to kill for the first time. And when these things happen, you see they're slowed down because it's a very intense moment. You're about to potentially take someone else's life and you're a kid. Like their hands sometimes shake, sometimes they can't even do it. They run away. Sometimes even the bad guys like, oh, you can't do it. You don't have the balls. It's just those are actually from action movies. But like this girl was so stern, bro. Like she walked
Mm.
up, she just freaking like held the gun and just bam, she shot.
Do you think any part of that was excitement?
I mean,
Like she
yeah,
was
she did look
excited.
pumped. Yeah, she did want a first kill, like we saw in the first. Yeah, I don't know, man. This girl enjoys killing way too much. Even the infected that she killed in the basement. Like my girl took her time, did a perfect incision, stare at this thing while this human still alive, but and then just damn, what a knife, dude. People that can kill with a knife and stomach that kill are straight up sociopaths, bro.
It's a lot more intimate. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's some Hannibal Lecter type shit, man. That's some freaking like. I mean, Hannibal will eat you, but still, like Jesus Christ. But I don't know,
Mm.
man. I don't know what homegirl is doing, but yeah, she came through and she saved Joel.
Mm.
Damn, and of course, Joel tells her, Oh man, which is so
But
crazy, right? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
did you notice how they filmed Ellie holding the gun? Because while she wasn't shaking, uh, she was aiming very low, like super super low. Pretty much, I think they were trying to show that her aim would be at the base of Brian. That's the name of the guy that that
Yeah,
they
he
were wrestling
identified
with.
himself before dying. Yeah,
Yeah. And he said that like once Ellie shot him, he said he couldn't move his legs. And
right.
likely that's because Ellie shot him at a place in his spine that would cause that kind of damage.
Paralysis. Yeah,
So
to the lower half.
yeah, so I think it's pretty cool that they filmed it that way. 'Cause it could be a hard thing to catch the way her arm is angled as she shot the guy. So
Bro. And this is zero training. Yeah, it's just it's borderline scary. But then again, the foil of that scene, which is so crazy, right? Like the way she killed the infected was already stuck there, but yeah, that brutal kill, that effortless kill, the way she shot, like you just mentioned, yeah, the camera, the angle showing how she does it, but it was not fear, it was probably borderline excitement. The very next scene, Joel's like, "Hey, okay, I need you to leave because I'm gonna kill this guy," and it's like she feels bad. Again, I might be reading a lot into this from her eyes. She's like, damn, okay, I'll leave because she just witnessed the guy pleading, like, here, take my gun. It's fine. We can be friends now. It's almost like if you juxtapose those two Ellies, put them side by side. Ellie from 5 seconds ago that just killed the freaking infected, and Ellie who's now reacting to a kid because the guy Brian is calling for his mom. Brian is a kid. We're not 14, but like Brian's not Joel. He's not a man. He's not a boy at the
well,
same time.
never know.
Dude, that was not a that was
He
dude,
could
we
be
saw
like
this. Like,
21, early
yeah.
20s.
Yeah, which is still a
That's
very young
something.
adult, man.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, come on. He's like, here, what grown man would have like I don't know, just gotten to this extent? I mean, sure, you say whatever needs to be said to die. Some people, some other people like Frank Castle's dying with honor. Fuck that, I'm not surrendering. But but this kid is like, here, take this, just take the weapon. We can be friends. We can be friends. It's like, bro, that's literally someone weeping, bro. It's like, damn. And Joel is
Yeah.
just, oh, it's like, go hide. It's like, no, mom, oh, bro. Shit.
Well, the guy Brian, he was pretty ready to murder Joel, but then
Of
once the tables were
course.
turned, he was like, "No, no, 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 calm down.
Yeah.
We're not fighting anymore."
Tables turn, which we're about to get to. Oof, dude, that is true. And of course, like I just mentioned, we just basically just solidified the death of Brian. Brian died.
Hmm.
R.I.P. So then they take us to a group of people that I don't know anything about. And great.
Hmm.
For starters, I
I
love
have
this
to
girl
tread
from
very carefully here, super
what
super
happened? What happened?
carefully.
For what?
No, no, no. This group of people, because
Oh no,
yeah.
dude! From that one episode I saw, from the 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 details which we're about to get into right now. For starters, this girl's from Two and a Half Men. I freaking loved her character. I think she was obsessed with Charlie. Have you ever seen Two and a Half Men?
I have
It's a
not,
show.
to my great shame.
It's freaking dope. This bachelor, his brother moves in with him. Brother as a kid. Alan moves in season one. I'm gonna be here for like a few weeks. Alan is there for freaking 6, 7 seasons. Bro, my boy died. Ashton Kutcher comes in. Alan is still in the house. Just crazy shit, man. But anyway, it's a hilarious show. It's already done. So if you didn't see it, no need. It's done. Um. So yeah,
Hmm.
homegirl is interrogating someone. These people mention a list of people. Stops at Henry Burrell. It's like, great. You don't know where he went. Great. And then she does something that, oh my goodness. Yo, I cannot stretch this to get like political and uh you know what? That's for a whole different conversation. But I'm just gonna accentuate on what she did, which resonated so much, which how fucked up the world is. Like you just said, tables turned. She reads the sign, bro. It's like, oh, look at this Fedra sign. You have the right to lawyer, medical, family can come and visit you and whatnot. She's like, I wonder if this is the exact room when my brother was tortured. Oh my goodness, it's like
Mm,
you're putting up this front like, oh great, this is basically like a democratic pretty much. Like, oh, if you're this is just a docile detaining room that you get access to, your human rights are still fulfilled, but at the same time people are brutally murdered here. And
uh-huh.
then
Yeah.
she tells the guy, like, what do you mean you had nothing to do with this, but you were fine being under federalist protection, but out here just freaking rattling on your neighbors. But when the roles are turned and you're now in the cell, and from what we can see, the doctor have some bruises in his face. My boy's probably been beaten because he looked tired too. He's like, enough, Kathleen, please, enough. So she's like, so now you want this to stop, which is so hypocritical in human nature, bro. Like, like countries, like, oh, destroying smaller countries, but would understand and probably like resonated with something like this if tables were to be turned. It's just so much violence.
Mm,
Like, we're so inconsiderate in this world until you realize the pain you're inflicting on others, that you get a taste of it, a glimpse of it, like what it truly feels like. Then and only then you would be like, oh shit, this is bad. Enough. It's like, oh, I don't know. That little scene, bro, I was like, damn, that's I completely understand. But yeah, I really like why they did that.
yeah, and they definitely explore that a little bit more in the next episodes.
Mm.
Um, but there's one thing I want to call to your attention is if you notice the woman that they decided to cast for the role of Kathleen, um, because clearly she looks like a very warm, loving lady that you would just want to
And
hug, right?
and there's several details of that we're gonna get to, but sure, continue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a reason that they chose an actress who looks like that to play a role, to play the role that she's playing,
Mm-hmm.
the character of
Yeah,
Kathleen.
if she's gonna get dark, which you're alluding to, most likely, I mean, hey, any leader needs to make tough decisions. But
Well,
this
she already
episode,
got dark.
what I've seen in this episode, well, dude, we're gonna have another freaking argument about this. Yep, this is the end of this podcast. Oh, shit, we can't see eye to eye. I didn't see her get dark in this episode, bro, but we're gonna get through it. Let's get through everything. Sure, sure. So then, the guy's like, Kathleen, like, no, I delivered you. No, I'm your doctor. She's looking for Henry. Like, because she's like,
Mhm.
if you're not the one that told him my brother, then Henry did. And you know where Henry is. Henry's still out there in the city. I gotta find Henry. Like, great. And then she gets a call. Comes out there. They bring out the three people that Joel just killed. And she automatically assumes, like, this is most likely Henry's doing. And
Mhm.
then, as the kid, we mentioned probably in his early 20s, is about to die, she said, is there anything I can do? What if I have a doctor? From these little things, I'm like, oh my goodness, this girl really care about like her people. Might be reading too much into this. There's gonna be very tiny details where she does this. Like, there's a second major one, very subtle, that I picked up on. We'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, I was like, what if I had a doctor? Like, no, unfortunately, he's dead. There's nothing we can do. And from there, the rage, which is understandable, got to her. Like, you're freaking sitting in my cell, you're protecting this guy who's out here killing my people. She's under the assumption of, like, that's it. Like, you think I'm too weak to do this? Fuck it, I'm gonna do this. Because she pointed the gun at him at one point, and he was like, Catherine, Kathleen, like, I delivered you. I'm your doctor. And you could see that. Fuck, like, okay, like, I don't know. It's like she couldn't get herself to kill him, which would still show you like this is a good person. From all I'm seeing, well, a good person might be a stretch because you said she's gonna do some pretty dark stuff. But
Well, well,
mm,
no, I meant that. I didn't mean it in the sense that she's gonna do dark stuff, but more so
oh,
just she the Kathleen that we're seeing in this episode right now.
okay.
Um, they showed us an instance where she has this leadership position, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
she's surrounded by a group of people, and
Correct.
she's kind of commanding them, like go out and find Henry and kill him and all of his accomplices.
But what's the motive? The motive, because she's under the impression that Henry just killed three of her men. It's just
Yeah, but the because in that situation, would you typically think because you remember the guy who was next to her, the one who had the glorious beard, who looked like a
Yeah,
really
her right hand man. Yeah, yeah. Well, I
yeah,
think
like
they have more on screen conversation than her and any other person from her tribe. Yeah.
right. So typically in a show like this or in a setting like this, in a context like this, it wouldn't be much of a stretch to see that kind of person as a leader as opposed to someone like Kathleen. Because, like I mentioned earlier, Kathleen, this looks like a very sweet person, not the
Mm-hmm.
kind of person who would say, go out and kill X, Y, and Z, and not the kind of
Right.
person who would just walk into a room and then shoot a guy at point blank. Even, of course,
Right.
she has motives, she has reasons for doing that.
I
But
understand.
I was just putting a spotlight on the fact that typically you wouldn't see a character who looks like that doing those kind of things.
Honestly, like I just said, bro, it's justified to me. Think about it, Christian. If is that her only brother? If they're gonna get to that, they get to that. The brother's dead, right? Your brother, your brother has been tortured and killed. Somebody ratted your brother out, and you are looking out. You're looking for who that person was, so you can avenge your brother. I understand that. Another thing too, Fedra, right? From what did we discuss an episode ago, episode 3, that the people that couldn't make it in the QZs, they killed him. As in, it's not. There's a lot of reasons as to why I see the birth and the reason for the existence of the Fireflies. A lot of reasons as to why Kathleen's group too, because it seems like from all I've seen so far, there's a common enemy here. Like you are rattling your neighbors out to Fedra. Rattling means you're kind of a snitch. You only snitch to people that are enemies to someone else. Like they wouldn't call you a snitch if you're not dealing with someone I don't like. So therefore, we can already tell Kathleen doesn't like Fedra. Of course, Fedra got her brothers killed. So basically, another group of people that are in conflict with Fedra, basically hating the way they operate. From all I've seen, I might be wrong here. This is all from what I've seen. So, but your point too is also valid. She is a woman. She appears sweet, but how would a woman be the leader of like this like this guy looked very tough, the dude with the beard, literally. It's
Well, not necessarily because she's a woman, but yeah, because she looks sweet and kind.
okay.
That's more along what I was
No,
thinking.
that's true, but look at, actually not take gender out of it. Look at Marlene, for example. Marlene's
Right,
walk
exactly.
and step and just everything is like authoritative. Like just, is that the adjective or authoritative? I don't know.
It's a good.
No, the noun's authority, but I don't know the adjective for it. For sure, it's like, yeah, she's this
A
is a
leader.
leader. When she
Yeah.
went there and she was like, read this piece of paper, go wherever I tell you to go, and just when the lady was starting to talk, she's like, shut up, stop talking. I'm talking to Joel. You do this, Joel. Like just yeah, you see the characteristic. But for Kathleen, there was some very nice sentimental scenes. Yeah, which is funny. Were you when you saw that scene, she ordering the kill? When I saw that scene, when she saw the kid dying, she's like, "Wait, what if I have What if I have a doctor?" Just and they're like, "Unfortunately, he's dead." And just I saw her looking at 3 dead bodies, thinking, "Oh my goodness, Henry just did this again." Like he's literally cleaning out my crew, my people, one by one. It's 3. I'm just gonna go in there and kill it. I saw a moment of rage, which any human being is entitled to have because we're not perfect. Like just I understand. And I don't know if this was her first kill, but this was something that it seemed that was very hard to do 2 scenes ago. Like she was pointing this gun. She even told the guy, "It's funny, you were all clear, but you said Fedra got you to rattle your neighbors because they pointed a gun at you. Let me point my gun at you now." And I remember, I forgot how she worded it. Does this have your attention? I might. She pointed the gun at him, and she was like, "Is this? Am I? Is what I'm doing just? Oh,
I
it
think
has to
she
be for
said.
verbatim, or I can't get it because it has to be exactly what she said, which was perfectly said.
Yeah, I think
What do you
she
think she
said.
said?
Do I satify the necessary requirements for you to
Yes,
talk?
yes, yes. We're satisfied. Oh, just dude, just something about dude. Something when something's worded, dude. This is why freaking Billions, bro. Chuck Road, freaking Catherine O'Hara from Schitt's Creek, bro. But when characters have vocabulary, that's just oh, do I satisfy that, bro? I was like, wow, I love that. You can easily just say, "Do I have your attention now?" or "Am I menacing now?" But to stretch it out, since it's just yeah. So this literally to me was like not someone who kills, but that's a good point. She's a leader. Leaders need to make tough decisions. Leaders need to even fight among themselves to become the leader of a group. So, but yeah, I understand what you said,
Mhm.
dude. I just went off a
Also,
freaking rant.
fun fact about Perry, the guy who you said was her right hand man.
Yeah.
He is the voice actor for Tommy in the video game, which
Wow.
is pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at you, man. Out
Also,
here.
Marlene, she is the actress who plays Marlene. She also played Marlene in the video game as well.
Yeah,
So there's
it's cool.
a nice crossover here that's very pleasing to my very
Yeah,
pleasing.
Marvel did that for What If. Yeah, it was the animated versions was like I think 6 episodes, which is pretty cool actually. Yeah, the characters in real life played their what was like you said the video game, but the characters played their voice in the animated miniseries. I think it was like 6, 9, 12. It was some 6 episodes. I can't remember. But yeah, similar to what you just said. Like the character in real life played their voice actor, voice actress.
Yep.
Um yeah, so of course, like we said, she deployed all her people. She's like, go find them and kill them. And bro, the amount of people this girl got. I was like, there was a whole battalion that just I was like, oh my goodness.
That's what I'm
Like
saying. It's an interesting contrast to have somebody like Kathleen who's leading all those people. It's like very
yeah. There's another side to her. Yes, it's not the
yeah.
lovey-dovey all the way. She can make tough decisions, which she then where when we get back to her, she made some tough decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they switch over to Joel and Ellie, and they're hiding in a bro. I can't even remember. They're hiding in somewhere. I can't remember where they're hiding. Um, yeah. That conversation was so sweet. First,
It
they
was.
identify them. They're not Phaedra or Fireflies. Great. So then Joel's trying to as sentimentally restraint as possible, but of course he's stuttering because he hasn't had to probably have been in this nurturing side of them as yet to be like vocalized, if that's the right way. Like he's not worded having to. We've seen hints, like him watch guard, him just little thing that he does, like feeding her still. He cares. But for him to have to like freaking stutter to say just to show you that like I'm rusty in this area. Like you should not have done this. Like it's like and he can't get the words right. He's like, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to have experienced that. You're just a kid, just it's uh the fact that it wasn't perfect was so nicely done because it shouldn't be because this is not who
All
Joel
right.
is anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm. But it's
and of course she
still
said, "Yeah,
very
go ahead."
yeah, like the ability for him to be that kind of person. It's still deep down somewhere, but
Yeah,
it hasn't shown
yeah,
itself for so long that yeah, he's rusty.
right. Which is very well done from the writers because if he just did this, like if my bro was like just freaking effortlessly delivering this just heartfelt fatherly like speech, we'd be like, "Whoa, that's weird." Like they'd be like,
Yeah.
"This is not the guy I've met for the past 3 episodes."
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a nice touch. And of course, she tells him, that's what she said. Yeah, this was not like my first time hurting someone. And, but that was like subtly said. He didn't pick up on that until later on in the episode. He was like, hey, what do you mean by that? But great. He said sorry. And then they flip back to Kathleen.
Mhm.
Now, her right hand, what's his name? Wasn't it Terry?
Perry. Perry.
Perry. Perry brings him up somewhere. Now, from what I gathered at the time, I was like, great, this must be a kid. This is where humanity. Well, she's not inhumane. I've been vouching for her so far. This is where I saw a nice side of her when she went up there and check. Of course, you see the cans, but you see the Spider-Man things, which clearly mean a kid is hiding here. When
Mhm.
she looked at the design, she looked sad for a second. Like, of course, dude, I keep freaking reading so much into these little things. If I'm putting myself in
No.
her mind right now, it's like, damn, I'm hunting this man who probably this is his kid. Sure, I did watch the whole episode. People like do know we're gonna get to the end, but that's literally what I thought when I watched this. I'm like, this is probably someone that this is one of his hiding places, and this is what someone that he holds dear to him, and they're drawings. Unless it's an adult who like might unfortunately be mentally challenged, these drawings basically look like something a kid would draw. And like like for example, like when I meant that an adult, that like an elderly, like Hodor, for example, Game of Thrones, if he was like drawing or something. That's what they Hollywood tend to picture if you think of an adult with childish characteristics. Like something might be wrong, like they might just be a bit like behind mentally. But yeah, it was either that or it's a kid, is what I thought. So when she looked at the little Spider-Man drawing, one of them, because there were so many, and she looked sad. To me, it almost felt like she's like, damn, I'm hunting this guy and this kid, and it's kind of not right because this is an innocent kid who probably has nothing to do with this. And unfortunately, I'm going after his older brother or his dad or his, I don't know, his uncle or something. I don't know. This is probably what I thought. But then, of course, she go back down and she have to get back in leader mode. And this is where what she said, I was like, okay, maybe this Henry guy, Sam, is a kid. She said, they're almost out of food, or they're out of food because we saw a bunch of empty cans. Henry would never let Sam starve. Double the guards around our provisions, which makes sense, as in like the food that we have, because we need to feed ourselves. We need more people there watching because my boy might try to break in because his son or nephew or little cousin or I don't know, whatever it is, might need food. So that's what I got from that.
Mhm. Hmm. Yeah, I didn't catch uh her face when she was in the attic. I was more
Okay.
so just I was um I'm trying to remember how I initially felt. I think I was not impressed. I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe I was sort of maybe in shock at how aggressively she was chasing after somebody who had a kid, because that really made my my mind wander a little bit. Like, what could this person have done
What
that
do you
would
mean?
cause uh say that again?
No, actually, finish. I'm gonna completely I'm gonna completely just. What's the word when you're taking a statement down? I'm gonna completely just obliterate your statement, pretty much with facts from the
Oh
same
shit.
episode. But go ahead, finish.
Well, damn. Heading toward my doom, it sounds like.
You're literally heading toward your demise. But continue. It's
But
just.
yeah, just for because the implications that you're chasing a guy who has a kid with him.
Mm-hmm.
What could he have done that's so damaging to you that you would send an entire fleet of people after him and a kid?
You don't know what could
Uh,
he have done. Okay.
or are you
What
gonna
could he have done?
are you gonna say that he
What?
killed her brother?
Oh no, because that's not reasoning enough. And from how my girl described it, I don't know if this is the cell where my brother was brutally beaten to death, or to add more icing on the cake, under the impression that you just killed three of my people, bro. You really don't understand what's fueling this girl's rage to find this man.
No,
What?
but there's more to that though, right? Because
I
that makes
understand.
you wonder, like, what if you're because when you're caring for a child,
Right.
that adds a wrench in the gears of things. Like that sounds like a very messy situation, and it
Yeah,
just
and
it encouraged curiosity on, like, to understand more about what the situation is.
it should absolve you of your potential sins of getting someone's brother killed allegedly.
I
It's
never said
oh,
that. I
he
was
has a
just saying.
child.
I never
He
said
has a
that.
child. Kathleen should tell
Nope.
Perry, guys, let's group around. He has a child. Let's stop.
I
Forget
never
about my
said
brother
that.
who's dead. Forget about the 3 people he potentially killed. He has a
No,
child.
no, no, no. I was just saying it makes you wonder what led to this situation. That's all I was saying. But yeah.
Christian, you're so kind. The naivete is beautiful. He has a child. Oh man. But yeah, that's listen, man. We go back and forth a lot about this show. Just great writing. It does
Mm,
this, man. It can be interpreted in so many different ways.
yes.
um
Yeah.
yeah, but no, honestly, just to go back, I want you to rewatch that scene of her in the attic. She literally, when she looked at the freaking drawing, she just was like, damn. Like for a second, I think she was like, wow, I'm really hunting someone who have a kid potentially. But I don't know. That's probably what I thought I saw. But yeah. And then of course the guy's like, let me take you downstairs real quick to see something. And holy shit. So you've seen this already. You know what's coming. You know what's
Hmm.
down there. Was
Hmm.
a bomb detonated down there that freaking wait. Oh, wait. Tests up the balcony with Ellie. They mostly started underground. It wasn't until people started coming to look for people or looking for QZs that they started more and more getting infected. Is that like underground? Like there are freaking infected people, or those are actual cordyceps strands that are stretching? I don't know. Because
You know I can't tell you.
I know you can't tell me. Christian, you are doing a phenomenal job, bro. This is uh mm.
Uh, what do you
But
think
yeah,
that what do you think about Kathleen's decision to not tell everybody and
that
still
that
focus on
decision, see, that is bias, which again I can understand. Christian, if my brother got killed, okay, I'm honestly, from the years you've known me, right? I talk like almost hot-headedly here. It's like it's weird because I get pumped about conversations, but I can remain like a plumb and make necessary decisions when it comes to be made, unfortunately. Like, great, I'm a project manager, so I deal with freaking stress every freaking day. I just sit like putting out fires and shit. So I can stop and be rational at times and just, not let my emotion cloud my judgment. As a person, I'm like that. I'm very reserved. Some might even say I'm freaking just emotionally closed off. Like I don't tap into them as much as I should. So I wouldn't. Like I would probably make another decision, but I can understand. I can understand why. Because in the heat of the moment, this girl is solely focused on finding Henry, and she knows if she let anyone know about this will take out the spotlight on Henry, and people will be looking more for their survival. Like, let's get the fuck out of there. Meaning her chance of finding Henry back would like slip out of her grip. Because right now Henry's around that perimeter, so Henry is enclosed. Although it's a freaking town, Henry can just yeah, which is kind of, no, she got the perimeter on lock. Like we know there's people on the roofs, so yes, they're digging deeply for Henry. Like they're like, we know he's in the city. So if my people were to find out that we're potentially over a hot, like a landmine of freaking, like I said, probably just infected folks bursting to come out, then
Mhm.
this might stray away from the mission that I have, which is finding Henry and avenge my brother. So yeah, I understand why that was taken. Do I think it's right? Hell no, that's not right. You're jeopardizing the lives of your life and the life of all your fucking people that you're supposed to be accounting for to get one man. But I understand what that man has done to you, and I understand why it's so personal. You
Did
hear what I'm saying?
they so remind me, did they already did they say specifically in this episode that Henry is the sole reason that Kathleen's brother was killed? Did they say that?
And in this episode, she asked the doctor told her, I would never have ratted you out. I delivered you. Like, I'm your doctor. She said, that's true, but you probably told Henry, and he did. And you know where he is. So, where is Henry? So, that's literally what she told the doctor. So, she's under the impression that Henry is the one that ratted out her brother to Fedra and got him killed. which is what
Okay.
she told. That's what she told the doctor.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to
So
confirm.
yeah. So what do you? Yeah, of course, dude. So yeah, what did you
But
think of that decision of her not telling the people?
uh, well, um, so I I don't want to say what I really think because it'll be a spoiler, but
That's
uh,
I understand.
it's a I think it's a very, like you said, it's a very biased and a very selfish
Yeah.
decision in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, even though um, when you're fueled by revenge, it can seriously disrupt the kind of decisions you make and the logic that you
Yeah.
deploy to make decisions.
Right.
So yeah, it's 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 a pretty interesting choice there. And then the
Yeah.
ramifications of that choice.
Correct. You're
Uh
endangering your folks. Yeah.
yeah,
You're keeping information that's critical to be made public announcement, bro. That's some crazy shit. Fuck Henry, bro.
right.
These people need to survive.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand though. I get where she's coming from. Yeah, these are things that like we can just analyze from afar because thank God it's a show, so therefore we have time to get a bigger picture. But if you put yourself in the heat of the moment, like fueled with rage, and you're so like everything you're feeling, everything you're doing is centralized on one person. So I can see how to you anything else that is way more critical, way more important, just have to take the second seat because you're just
Yeah.
focused. Bro, what movies like this, man? This guy was just so focused, and this girl was just so. Oh, he died or something because he was focusing too much on something. There are plots like that. There's several movies with plots similar to that. Like being so fixated on something and you get like fooled at the end, deceived basically, because you're only looking at things from one perspective. Yeah,
Mm,
but I understand that. I
yeah.
feel for her. We'll see. I'm liking her character so far. Yeah. I think she's dope so far. We'll see. Hopefully, she can recreate what I felt for Tess.
Kathleen. That's
Oh man, I put it out there, bro. I put it out there. That's it. No shame. I think Tess was great. It's just, it took her
yeah.
too early. But
I will
anyway,
say
let's move
though
forward.
that I really do enjoy the addition of Kathleen because she wasn't in the games at all. Like in
Oh
the
wow.
games, yeah, when you're in Kansas City, I don't know if it's Kansas City in the games as well, but when you're in this part of the story, you're more or less just fighting off against a nameless group of people. In
Okay.
the games, I think they're called hunters.
Okay.
And in the show, they decided to give the nameless group of hunters names and faces and motives, um, and then have this group have a grounded conflict with our main characters of Joel and Ellie. So I really like this route that they're going, and I think Kathleen is uh, the perfect role to spearhead the this new addition into the story.
Okay.
So
No, I understand. I understand. Yeah. And yeah, so far the first side that I got, your point, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, valid. If she's a leader, bro, there have to be some yeah, there has to be some leadership traits also. Like I because if people are looking up to you, you've had to prove yourself to even
yeah,
be at a point where you're worthy of being followed. So yes, that is That is something that they definitely will touch more into because I'm liking her character so far. Driven by rage, which I understand. Hopefully, it doesn't get too driven by rage. Frick, dude, Daenerys Targaryen, Game of Thrones. I'm like, yeah, what character is freaking so caught up? And even that too, I can't really blame her. Bro, you're looking at the people that freaking sent your family into exile, killed your dad. Like you couldn't be the princess that you were meant to be. You have to go away and be like the metamorphosis to grow into the queen of dragons, getting raped until your husband finally loves you, freaking freeing slaves, like all these things harden you. And just to watch people are just cozying, walking freely in the town that was meant to be yours, that was where you were supposed to grow up. Like families got to be raised there when you were in exile. So fuck that. We're gonna burn all these people. So I understand. Yeah, the same bias and filled with rage. Even that, I understood that too. This is literally what I think when I see Kathleen and how she flip, kill the doctor, and say, "Go get this motherfucker." So yeah, that's the comparison. Daenerys Targaryen. Yeah, it's I get that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so then of course they flip to Joel and Ellie, and they're
In
trying
the
to
building that they're spending the
sneak
night.
into somewhere. Yes. Bro, the jokes are hilarious, man. Some of those one-liners, like she sneaks in, of course, because she's small, and she's like, "Where would you beat up me?" And he's like, Wyoming," and she's like, "I walked into that one." It's like, we're like, yeah, you walked into that one, bro. Over
Mm.
40 flights of stairs. Oh my goodness! And then another deep conversation
How did you
that
know it was an
starts.
ambush?
Yeah, how
I've
did
been
you
on
know it
both
was an
sides.
ambush? I've been on both sides. Oh man. Oh, this is literally remind me of Altered Carbon. Bro, I had no comparison this whole freaking episode, and all of a sudden we got Daenerys, now we got Altered Carbon,
The
bro.
floodgates
It's
opened.
just the floodgates open. Altered Carbon, Kovac. Kovac was on both sides. He was with the Kellis and he was also with the bro, why can't I remember these people's names, man? The cops, the force that was a task force that was put in place to stop the Kellis. Anyway, he was there with that task force with his sister when they showed you his background, and he was also with the Kellis because he ended up joining the Kellis. So he's been on both sides. Same as Joel. Like I've been that guy with Tess and Tommy pretending to be hurt to trap people and kill them and steal from them and take their money or food. Well, money's not really a thing. No, money's still a thing. You're still buying, yeah, because you still have to purchase. Like this is why he was getting pills and I'm currency. Forget currency. Forget I mentioned currency. I mean, I've been on the other side to do what I have to do to survive, and that's by tricking other human beings. And of course, and my girl again, dude. Every episode they give this girl lines that like this ability to read in between the lines and answers unanswered that she already put one and two and understand. Like, are you my mom? She's infected. What did she do earlier that did I mention?
Mm. Um,
Uh,
in this
I
episode,
mentioned something else earlier. Yeah, and the 30 minutes ago, I was like, yeah, I did that whole loop again. My mom infected, and she said something else. Regardless, but then to be like, have you ever killed an innocent person? And Joel doesn't answer, but he looks sad. Oh, which is that parental thing again, dude. It's almost like that father figure. Like, I don't want you to turn into me. I'm stretching this, of course, but but it's like from earlier, you're just a kid. You should not have to kill. At the same time, you're kind of stuck with me for now, and I don't want my actions that I've done at the time that I did them to justify me living because shit, we had to kill to survive. But that sadness, all that could have been a badge of honor at the time. Like, hey, I fooled some motherfuckers. Tommy, we get to eat. We got this dude again. Like Tess, here's some food that I caught. Great. Yeah, great, Joel, good. But now they're not that honorable because I'm faced with a kid and I don't want that kid to think that this is even though we are living in a post-apocalyptic world where you have to freaking grind to survive, but like the sadness in his face by not answering was like, damn, dude, am I reading too much into this shit, bro? It was just like,
yeah. Wait, do you think? So you think at one point they might have been kind of proud, or not proud, but uh,
no, not proud, justified, because dude, I
justified?
have to,
Okay.
dude, you have to, if you have to trick people, like he's been on the other side. He told Ellie they wouldn't come to just rob you; they'd freaking do more. They'd kill you. He's been on the other side. He's killed human beings too to like survive. Because if you think about it, right, I mentioned earlier too how people mention the freaking Game of Thrones reference, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. Yeah, I told you some of my friends like, yeah, got to the point where it's like humans fighting humans instead of just zombies. As in, he's gotten to the point where he was on that other side who was killing humans that were driving by to probably take their car or take whatever they had, which is what almost
Mm,
happened to him. But his face when Ellie asked him if you killed an innocent person before, like it was just not regret because it had to have been done. We completely understand from the 3 episodes we've been seeing like what the world has become, but it's nothing to be proud of. But he's almost like disappointed that not of what he's done, but that a kid is asking. You know
okay.
how if you're a parent, right? This is not his daughter, but if you're a parent, you want to reflect the best version of yourself to your kid. Because
Right.
what is a kid? A kid is a mirror of their guardian or whatever adult they're going to spend a lot of time with, which it's starting to look like this will be Joel will be this girl's parent. They're stuck together, bro. Well, I've only seen them for like 4 episodes so far. So he doesn't want that. Like Sue Surf has this Sue Surf has this freestyle on I-95 as a rapper. He's like, when my daughter asked me what these tattoos mean, first you feel sad, then you feel mad, and you're like, man, I don't want her to end up with someone like her dad. That's a whole freestyle on I-95 rapper called Sue Surf. As in these tattoos, which is like some like gang stuff that I've done, that I've earned. Like just to be a part of whatever group I was in, doing some fucked up activities at the time was dope. But if it's my daughter that's asking me, what does those tattoos mean? Like first you feel sad, like shit. And then you feel mad, like, oh, why am I mad? Dude, I did this. I had to do this. It's like, do you understand what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to Joel's like mind of just that little moment of just that quick sadness in his eyes, not even answer and just turn around and keep walking. I'm like, damn, this man does not want to reflect anything bad on this girl because he's trying to preserve an innocence who, from what we've seen, has been gone. Homegirl's a straight up monster, bro. Like she's a savage. Like this girl have had 2 effortless kills. Apparently, there's a third kill that she doesn't want to talk about. Like this, and I'm telling you to go back to episode 2. I think this girl is not alone in that place that she walked in and got bitten. Like, but regardless, like, but damn, it's yeah, it was it was nice to see. I like these little things.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, what'd you think? If you read into this as much as I did your first time watching it, if you can remember.
No, I mean, yeah, you know, there had to be, because for 20 years, Joel has experienced things that we will never get to see, or
Right.
we haven't gotten to see. Maybe one day we will. So,
Spoiler.
um, but yeah, for Joel to be as hardened and as uh, ruthless of a guy that he is now, for him to be able to grab a knife from somebody who's pleading for you to spare them and then just stab him in the heart and not really think too much of it. Well,
Yeah.
for him to be able to just effortlessly stab someone with a knife, you had to have experienced some pretty awful things in your life. Well,
Correct. No, dude, literally, yeah. You're yeah. There's some things that if you end up doing that your conscience doesn't even like block you or stop you, that mean it had tried the previous times and you just have done this repetitively to the point where it is now effortless, which is the correct word. But it shouldn't be. That's the thing. You're taking away someone's life. But also it just paints the picture of what Joel's past was.
right, exactly.
It's beautifully done, dude. The way they're telling us this man's story without fully telling us this man's story is just great. It's like it's awesome. Little things I've been on that side. Or
Hmm.
damn, ah, crazy shit, man, crazy shit. So yeah, they make it to 33 out of was I think it was supposed to be 40 flight of stairs, which is
Yeah,
not bad actually.
it's a lot of
And he was like, "Oh,
stairs.
get off your lazy ass." And he was like, "Lazy my ass." Like I'm 56 years old, you little shit. It's like, oh man,
Uh,
it's hilarious. Of course, my
uh,
boy's setting up the traps, glasses.
mm, You can't hear well
But
on his
yeah,
right
of
side.
course, again, this girl is so attentive, bro. It is insane. Like she's so observant. Like
Hmm.
you remember in episode 3, as they're walking before they got to that Cumberland farm, she was like, "Hey, what's up with that scar on your face?" And she mentioned because a bullet grazed him. That was the right side. Like that same right side, she this is probably why he couldn't hear the guy when the guy came in and snuck up on him. Was not probably that was his right side when the guy almost killed him when Ellie came out and had to shoot. So she's like, yeah, I've noticed you can't really hear well on the right side. And of course, this, I might be reading into this again. Do you think solely because of his freaking grumpy self, and of course, because there's this it's not weakness, but it's like a liability that you kind of have, and a kid just pointed that out. So him turning, he's like, well, I guess you should sleep next to your knife. He turned and freaking slept on his. Wait. He turned. No, never mind. That
Well,
doesn't validate my future statement. He was sleeping on his right side. I was gonna get to the point with that he didn't hear these people because he was sleeping on his right side, but he was actually because he was sleeping on his left side, but he was sleeping on his right, which is irrelevant. The right is a weak side, and that's the side he was sleeping on because he turned his back on her. I was gonna justify that maybe he didn't hear these people because Ellie had a good point that he can't hear on his right side, and these people came in from his left side.
isn't I don't remember specifically, but so he wasn't sleep like his bad side wasn't facing the like his good side
He
was on the pillow.
Yeah, his bad side was on the pillow. His
His
right
bad side
side,
was
the
on the
right
pillow.
side,
Okay.
yeah, the right side of his face was on the pillow. But
Okay.
it would have been so much more perfect if in the heat of the moment because he's upset. He was like, "Oh, I should sleep with your knife," and he turned on his left side. That would have been dope because it would have been like, "Oh shit, you only didn't hear them because the side that you do hear was the side that's on the pillow." But it's not what happened. Um, that would have been dope if
Hmm.
that's what ended up happening. But
I
that's
thought,
unfortunately not.
yeah, maybe I missed that too because I thought that is why they were able to sneak up on him. That
Honestly, then that might be. Or oh yeah, or he rolled because when he woke up, he probably was on his left side when he woke up. Or he didn't stay in that station. He didn't stay in that same position as he was sleeping for the whole night. Yeah, as he turned from her, it was his right side that he turned. As in his left ear was still exposed and his right ear was on the pillow because he turned his back from her. But when he got up, he might have turned sides in the middle of the night. But yeah, if that's what happened, I'm gonna rewatch that ending just to confirm that. But yeah, if that's what happened, then that's perfectly done from the writers again, showing that again it was the side that he couldn't hear, which is why they got to sneak up on him and through the glass anyway, which would have made noise that he wouldn't have picked up on because it was his bad side.
and
Dude, these little things are
another
freaking sick.
and also too because when they were in the forest, he didn't get much sleep that night, and this is the day after that, right?
Yeah,
So
the
he was
body
already
needs to
exhausted.
crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. And he drove that whole day. Yep, this is
Yeah.
true. This is true.
He had a life or death
But
battle.
yeah, before the bad side, good side thing, the it's like if diarrhea is diarrhea hereditary or something.
Yeah.
Why is diarrhea I can't remember because it's in your genes, but I don't remember the question
Do
that she
you know
asked.
why diarrhea is hereditary?
Right, because it runs
Because
in
it
your
runs in your
genes.
genes.
And he finally stopped suppressing that and just let it all. Dude, that moment was so cute,
He
but they
was
had to
trying.
freaking stop it.
He was trying.
Yeah.
And it just made it funnier.
Yo, they bursted out laughing. Yeah. He's like, I got you. Oh man, no,
That's
no, the,
probably
the
the
dynamic is
most
growing.
that's probably the most genuine smile he's had in 20 years.
Yeah, this is true. Like, forget smile. It literally blossomed into laughter. My boy was
Right?
jawed wide open,
Ear to ear.
ear to ear. Damn.
He's damn near
And
blushing.
then, damn, Joe, get up. Oh shit. Henry's here. Plot twist. Henry's a brother, Rich Gang. So I'm already siding with Henry. I'm kidding. It's a joke to our white listeners. It's a joke.
What?
I
What do you
don't
what do
care
you
if Henry's black.
mean?
I
Oh my god.
was like, oh shoot. And of course, dude, Homeboy is such a Spider-Man fan. Even in this world that you're currently in hiding with your dad, my boy still have time to draw Spider-Man eyes, bro. All over his eyes. I'm like, it was just I know that's not even what this is supposed to be. This is just supposed to connect that this was indeed the kid who was in the attic. But it's like, bro, to love the superhero that much, to draw him constantly, hang him on walls, and to even paint that shit on your face. I'm like, damn, you are a Marvel fan.
Are you
But
sure it
anyway.
was Spider-Man?
Hmm?
Are you sure it was Spider-Man? It was just
Oh
a
shoot.
superhero, right? I mean, it just looked like a
Um,
superhero. I don't know if it was.
honestly, that might be a wow. Dude, at least do this off air, man. Now I'm embarrassed in front of our two listeners, bro. You know what? This podcast is over, man. Find someone else to do this shit with you, bro. I'm out here constantly praising you to these two people that are listening to us, and you, and this man's like,
It was like, do better,
shit. I
Peter.
feel like a fraud.
Be better.
I felt like a fraud. Um, no, that's a good point. I really am not so sure. I just saw red and blue. It could have been Superman actually. Superman has a cape. There was some of those drawings that had capes. Actually, yeah, I'll go back and watch that. Yeah, let's omit that. It's a superhero. That's it. Anonymous. um, yeah, and the episode ends. They're being held at gunpoint by
My little kid.
possibly Henry and definitely with Sam. That's definitely Sam. It's just it is what it is. That's the kid. Another good episode, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. A lot of little things to pick up on. Looking forward to episode 5.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a great episode to set up things to come.
Shit.
One of my okay, no, I don't want to say that because that's also a spoiler. But yeah, this was a great episode, man. I love every episode of The Last of Us, but I'll give this episode its props specifically right now. It was great.
Understood. No, it was good. Thoroughly enjoyed it too. All right. Nothing else. I think I've stretched this out to as many little scenes as possible. I don't think there's anything else that's left unsaid.
Nope. I think we're good.
Okay. All right, dude. Until next
All
time.
right. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.